operational control of our border.
Well, DHS says that less than
fentanyl.
1% of migrants encountered at the border have a criminal record. But I want to stick on the question of asylum. Those that do meet the criteria, should they be allowed to stay in this country? And do you think that what the current governor, Doug Ducey, has done, sending some of the migrants to Washington, D.C., is the right thing to do? Would you continue that practice?
Dana, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that figure you just put out. We have 1 million gotaways. These are people who are intentionally entering this country, mainly through the Tucson sector, and we don't know what their background is. There's a reason they're trying to get in unnoticed. It's because they have a criminal background, and they are coming into this country. We know that they have tracked down terrorists. They've tracked down people wanted for murder. You can go to the Customs and Border Patrol site, and you'll see we've got murderers coming in. We have people with raps, with a rape record, you name it. We've got hardened criminals coming.
Well, let me just tell you that this stat that I just cited comes from the Department of Homeland Security. Less than 1% of migrants. And I know that you're using language like rapists and criminals and so forth. What I was asking about are migrants seeking asylum. But I want to move on to another really important issue, particularly, and that is what happened in 2020. You called the 2020 election corrupt, stolen, rotten, and rigged. And there was no evidence of any of that presented in a court of law or anywhere else, that any of those things are true. So why do you keep saying that?
Well, there's plenty of evidence. We had 740,000 ballots with no chain of custody. Those ballots shouldn't have been counted. We had election laws.
Where is the evidence of that?
Dana, there's plenty of evidence. You can find it. I'm happy to send it to your team. The problem is the media won't cover it. And
we've covered this extensively, and what you just said has been debunked.
Only one side of it, Dana. The real issue, Dana, is that the people don't trust our elections. They haven't since 2000. I'm a reporter. I've been sitting on your side of the desk for a long time. And since 2000, we have Americans who don't trust our elections. In 2000, in 2004, they didn't trust the elections. In 2016, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, and Hillary Clinton, everybody on the Democrat side said the election had problems.
Ms. Lake, there definitely has been some of that, but I want to say in 2000, Al Gore conceded. In 2004, John Kerry conceded. In 2016, Hillary Clinton conceded, and we didn't see that in 2020. That's the difference. And so the question is, are you undermining faith in elections by saying that the 2020 election was stolen when there's absolutely no evidence to support that?
Dana, in 2018, Stacey Abrams never conceded. She still hasn't. I don't hear CNN calling her an election denier. We have the right, it's protected with our First Amendment, to question our government and to question elections.
No question
and we
about
still
that.
have the First Amendment. Yep. We still have the First Amendment. And when you start seeing the media cancel people for questioning their government, then that's when we have a problem.
I totally agree about the First Amendment. You and I are benefiting from the First Amendment as we speak. So I couldn't agree with you more on that. I want to, if leaders like you and President Trump are saying that the election was stolen, aren't you participating, contributing, even causing the idea of people thinking that the election is not safe and secure?
No, we are going to make sure our elections are safe and secure for Democrats, independents, and Republicans alike. We want to know that our legal vote counted. We want to know the winner on election night. We don't want to be counting for 10 days. And we want everyone to know.
But shouldn't count it? Don't you want your votes to be counted in 20? Don't you want your votes to be counted, no matter how long it takes in 2022 in November?
Dana, I've been on the campaign trail for 503 days. I talked to moms and dads who are losing children because of fentanyl poisoning. I talked to retirees who can't afford gas and food. I talked to parents whose children are getting out of high school and can't read. We have serious problems.
I totally agree. I totally agree, which is why the election denial.
You want to have me on here, Dana. You want to have me on here and talk 2020 election, and you're the one who accuses
I would never bring this up, ever, had you not been bringing this up consistently on the campaign trail. Let's look forward then. Will you accept the results of the election in your election? Will you accept the results?
Talk about the issues. I came on here thinking we were going to talk about the issues facing Arizonans right now.
We did.
And you've spent the entirety of this time talking about 2020. I think you're stuck on 2020. I really do.
I have
I
interviewed
wanna move
many,
forward
many
with reason.
Republicans and haven't even mentioned it. I only did with you because this is a big thing that you are running on. Let's look ahead.
Jana,
And
Jana,
let's talk about the
Jana.
2022 election. Will you accept the results of your election, Ms. Lake?
I'm running against a twice convicted racist who cost the state taxpayers $3 million because of her hatred for people of color.
My question is, will you accept the results of your election in November?
I'm going to win the election and I will accept that result.
If you lose, will you accept that?
I'm going to win the election and I will accept that result because the people of Arizona will never support and vote for a coward like Katie Hobbs who won't show up on a debate stage. She's